The story of the cab driver and his beautiful lesson. But before I start the story off, show reel. Pranam, Namaste, my name is Garret. Before I start the story off, please make sure you guys remember to hit like, subscribe and comment your learnings in the comment section below. I'm dedicated to make 4 videos a week to spread more light and positivity out there to the world. It's also nice to know where you guys are tuning from so we could actually connect within this space, okay? So, the story of the cab driver and his lesson. So once upon a time, there was this young businessman. Okay, he was leaving his apartment and rushing off for an important meeting. So immediately he hopped onto a taxi and he told the taxi to go towards the airport. I am rushing for a flight. So immediately the taxi driver took off. Okay, so when he took off, he was driving in the right lane. So as he started driving along the roads, okay, suddenly there was this black car that jumped out of the lane, okay, straight cut in towards his driving direction. So the taxi driver immediately slammed his brakes and tried to avoid the car that was coming out, okay. So he was just inches away before hitting the black car, and he avoided several cars that was at the side as well, okay. So immediately this man was looking behind, yelling. That man was actually inside the black car. He turned around and he was yelling, okay, and he had the cheek to yell at the taxi driver. And then the taxi driver was just driving forward, okay. He drove forward towards the side of the black car. As he looked at the man, he was just smiling and he was awfully friendly and he was waving at him, okay, and he just drove past him and continued his way towards the airport. So the young businessman was very clueless and he was shocked, okay, because of this whole incident that he almost got into a car crash. So he asked the taxi driver, what just happened over there and why did you just do that? Why did you just let him off and just smile and waved at him and being so friendly with the man? He almost caused us an accident. He almost hit onto your car as well as almost got both of us into the hospital. So the taxi driver actually on the way right to the airport, he was just telling this young businessman, he was saying that, look, perhaps you haven't heard of this law, and this law is what we call the law of the garbage truck. Okay, so what does this law of garbage truck actually mean? So he's saying that there's a lot of people out there that behaves like a garbage truck. They are full of anger, frustrations, full of pent-up negativity, and they are collecting a lot of garbage in their trucks. So each day they will be looking to collect this anger and this pile of garbage, and they will one day not be able to tolerate any more of this garbage, and they will just find somebody to load it and pile at them. So that was the most important point. He's saying that this law of the garbage truck is like most of us that contain a lot of angers and frustrations, and they're always looking to pile it up on somebody because they do not know how to deal with their own frustrations, and if they do not vent it out on somebody else, they will explode. So but the most people do not realize that is they choose to accept the garbage from other people because they behave like garbage trucks themselves. So they need to realize that everyone can have a choice whether or not to accept this garbage from another person, because if you are piling up your garbage from another person, then you are collecting this pile within yourself as well. And when you are almost full, you will load this garbage onto your own friends, your colleagues, your family members, as well as some random strangers along the street. So in this whole understanding of the law of the garbage truck, he landed this beautiful message to this young businessman. So as they arrive at the airport, the young businessman actually got down the taxi and he gave a huge generous tip to the taxi driver. And the taxi driver smiled and tell him that, look, I hope you learn something from this beautiful law of the garbage, and make sure that you do not take in all this garbage unnecessarily from other garbage trucks. So that was the beautiful message. And this young businessman, he was still in shock and was in awe by this whole lesson that the taxi driver actually taught him. So he entered the airport and he was in peace, even though he had such an important business meeting ahead of him. And he was just smiling and he entered the airport towards his trip towards another country. Okay, so the moral of the story is we are having this choice, and if we understand, we acknowledge this law of the garbage truck, we always have the choice to actually decide whether we want to take in the garbage from another people. Okay, because like I say in this story, right, there's so many garbage trucks out there, and these garbage trucks are people that are filled with negativity, filled with all this anger, hatred, all these pent-up frustrations. And if they do not release or vent it off onto somebody next to them or someone else that they choose to vent it on, then they will explode. However, there is a choice whether you accept it or not. If you accept it, it means you are piling this garbage within yourself. Therefore, you might have to vent it off somewhere near you as well. That may be your co-workers in your office, or that may be your home with your family members, or they may be just some stranger along the streets. Whatever it is, it's just not too worth it when it comes to your happiness. So we need to know that you always have the choice. Know that any emotions or any negativity, right, usually is emitted from a creator, okay? And the creator will always experience firsthand. However, the receiver has the choice whether or not to receive this emotion. Know that this beautiful story also relates to the Buddha's teaching, okay? Buddha actually taught us this theory. He's saying that if somebody gives you a gift, and if you do not receive that gift, who does that gift belongs to? That gift still belongs to the person who gave the gift, right? So this is just like the emotions in this beautiful message. So I'm ending this video off, and I hope you learned something from this beautiful story. Okay, and if you do, please make sure you share your comments in the comment section and share your learnings. Okay, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. With that, I'm ending this video off. Pranam, Namaste.